Ready for the,
Mhm.
thank you, Christine. And we're going to do the opening prayer.
Mhm.
Okay. Please remain muted, everyone. We call the benevolent beings of light, archangels, and ascended masters to guide and inspire us during this forum. Our forum's vision is to bring the understanding, tools, discipline, and support for those seeking to enter the straight and narrow path, the road less traveled, that will lead us along effectively and steadily through the ascension process. Integration of the human experience with our divine origin is moving us full circle to achieve our divine potential. So be it. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for answering the call from on high to attend the forum. Let us join our hearts and minds in preparation to receive the blessings offered. We ask you to please release from your day, your mind, and center yourself. Breathing in deeply and release. Breathe in deeply and release. Take a deep breath in and release. Relax the tension in your body and your mind. Now bring your full attention to the forum. Be fully present in order to receive and fully retain the discourse gifts. Okay. And thank you. And Barbara, please start your discourse.
Thank you. I really loved that. It is true. All those different phases, how we managed our life, thought we were managing our life, but we struggled, didn't we? Tonight's topic is the secret to inner peace. And the only person that could bring you inner peace is you. I always say, just change your mind. If things are not going well, if you're struggling, if you feel as if there is just no doorway for you to walk through, make that doorway happen. Change the way you were doing things. Sit down and get into your center. Feel that light moving through you. Breathe deeply and allow yourself to come to that 0 point where you're at one with your higher self. And you ask the question, what is it that's holding me back? What is it that is tripping me up? What do I need to do? And sit silently. In that silence is where the answers are given. You don't necessarily hear them. It's a very advanced stage when you actually hear the voice of your own higher self or one of your great guides that are with you or an archangel. And then in that silence, the inspiration is given. You have a sacred chamber in your heart. And that chamber is where you want to pause and allow your thoughts to move through because the answers will be there. So, why doesn't it come easily? Because we believe it's us, the personality, that's going to make everything happen because we just are in our ego, believing that's the answer to the question. I've got to keep pushing until I make it happen the way I want it to happen. Well, it never worked for me. So I can speak with authority on this matter. It was when I surrendered. It was when I stopped trying to make things happen. When I stopped holding on so tight to who I wanted to be with or what I wanted to do, and just breathed and said, you know what? I'm going to concentrate on what's right in front of me. I'm going to clean up the things that I know that I don't have right yet. I'm going to wash myself clean from the inside. And then I watched my world start to change on the outside. As this was so simply stated, first we think life happens to us, and that's exactly what happens. You know the struggle when you're in that stage. And then they said life happens by you. That's when you're in that stage where you start saying, you know what, I'm taking charge. I'm going to make this happen. And it works. It opens you up. It starts your blood pumping. Then life happens in you. And that's when you go inside and start realizing I got to clean out the drawers and the closets and get rid of all the things that I believed and it's not working anymore. When patterns and belief systems are old and they don't work, that's the time to change your mind about how you manage things. So if you're very talkative, for instance, zip it and listen. Listen to the people around you. Just become a quiet person on purpose. On purpose. This is for you. This is for you. It's when we're always talking, always have something to say. We're never gathering information from other people. All we're doing is pouring out instead of drawing in and listening. Somebody could say something that you've been trying to figure out for 6 months, and just in conversation, they could say something that changes your world. It turns you around. It makes you say, oh my God, that was so easy. Why didn't I think of that? We're too busy talking. Chatter. Our voice was given to us to create with. Heaven forbid we create half the things that come out of our mouth. We're so busy talking, you see? About what? About what? Our opinion? When you're real quiet and then something inside you says, I need to say something, everybody's head is going to turn and listen to you. And it's going to come out because you were quiet and you were listening and you allowed it to go into your heart, what you were thinking. And when it comes out your mouth, wow, wow, that's your divine self speaking. That is that part of you that is holy and blessed. Some people know it, they can feel it in your energy fields. Other people, not until you speak do they catch that feeling. Being holy isn't like what most people think. Being a master of life is not what people think. They think it's unattainable, but I tell you it's not. When you can get over something that you've been tripping yourself up for most of your life, one thing, I want you to sit there and really appreciate what you did. And then from that point, you're going to start doing more because you're going to feel this sense of power, empowerment that you hadn't felt before, that your life is meaningful, that you have a purpose here, and nobody else can take that place. Nobody. You're one of a kind, and the universe is learning through you, through this personality you took on. And it was perfect for this lifetime. This isn't an easy lifetime. This is a lifetime where everything that you came in and wrote on your mission statement that you wanted to accomplish. And are you? Are you gaining your freedom? from the prison that you put yourself in? Are you working beyond the limitations that you felt in the past? These are the questions you ask yourself. And if you feel like you didn't, even one thing, just do one thing at a time. Ask your higher self to help you. Your higher self has nothing better to do because your higher self wants you to become your higher self. That's you at your finest, your divine potential, the magnificence that you are. When you look in the mirror and you see that face in front of you, you say to yourself, is it possible that I could be this divine being that we're speaking about? If you don't identify with the body as you, but rather with the heart, the feelings, the world inside you that guides you along, if you go by what love you have in your heart and compassion for others, you'll start to realize that is your divinity. That love that you are is your divinity. And then you'll start to believe this. Everything has to do with how you believe. Believe that you can heal yourself. The healing doesn't start on the outside, it starts on the inside. It's mental and emotional. But people think, how can I heal myself? Look at me. I've been working on myself inside, but I'm still sick. Yeah, your body took on and solidified the lower density energy that you took in, and it's struggling. It's struggling. I don't identify with the problems that the doctors tell me that my body's having because I am healing from the inside out. I am taking care of the mental and emotional patterns. When I'm sad, I cry. When I'm angry, I get angry. Not at anybody. Mm-mm. Nope. I go off by myself. And boy, can I get angry. And I let it go. And I feel so different. Believe this. The true inner peace comes when you can forgive yourself for everything you've ever done. Remove guilt from your entire consciousness. Just remove it. Let it go into the violet fire. When you can love yourself unconditionally, and when you can forgive yourself for your past, because you know what you did, we know what we've done, we know how rude and crude we can be. That's the humanness in us. But we also know we can love more than most people that you've ever met on the planet. You know that you care so deeply about certain things with all your heart and soul. That isn't an average person, believe me. That's somebody that's taken time to really work on themselves. Then you start moving up that ladder that they talked about. Life really is all set for you. You set up the plan with your higher self. Everything is in order. Now your job is to live that life. Live it in freedom. Don't have to ask everybody around you, should I do it? Should I stand here? Should I go see this person? No, you don't need permission. You just need to follow your heart, and it will guide you where you need to go, who you need to speak to, who you need to see, because you're meeting yourself, parts of yourself, in every single person that you come in contact with. Sometimes you wonder. Some days it's like I'm looking at the troubled people around the world in my world when I go out, and I know I was in that state at one point. So I'm not troubled because I need to work on myself. I'm there to bring light to them because I've been there and I know the agony of being in that position where I feel like the world is taking me down and I'm on my knees begging for help. And one day you finally stand up and say, you know what? I don't have to beg for anything. All I have to do is ask, and you shall receive. The great master teacher wasn't fooling around, and words are very important. So if you read the words of the great master, you will start to say, Holy Christmas, he said all these things. If I just do that, I'll be able to ace it here. Yeah. I studied for 3 years every word that the master, the great master, said. It was a remarkable year, 3 years. It was remarkable. I read it, I meditated on it, I studied it, I understood eventually. It wasn't verbatim what the great master said. It was much more, so much more. So you practice. See, knowledge is very important, but it doesn't become your wisdom until you go out in the world and experience that that knowledge. Then it's wisdom because now you know the truth about it. You went through the whole cycle of it. You went out in the world and you got to know what it meant. And now you're wise and you can help other people because now I understand it to the depths of my being. I learned about it and then I went out in the world and experienced it. That makes the teacher come out in you very gently with no force, but only when you're asked to share. Because if you get all cocky about it and say, I got to tell everybody, they might not be ready. And all you'll do is turn them off. But if somebody comes up and says, how come you're smiling all the time? Why are you so happy when there's so much misery? And the answer to that question is you've got to be happy inside you. It isn't the world that decides how happy you're going to be, because believe me, that's not the source of your happiness. This is a school, a graduate school. Yeah. And you want to get an A plus so you can move on to the next level and the next level and the next level. We are so blessed to be in this lifetime at this very time. We really are. Because there's more light in this world than there has been for a very long time. There's more help offered to us because the whole planet, everything is graduating. Yeah. And we have that opportunity to do it with grace or to struggle through it. We can still graduate, but perhaps we have a little bit left that we have to still clean up. And if you take that into 5D, it's a little embarrassing. We talked about that last week because everyone can read your fields. Oh no. Yeah, here you can hide and make believe, put on the happy face. I'm fine. I'm happy. And then you go home and you're dealing with what you really feel. You know what? If you can be brutally honest with yourself about how you feel, you'll get somewhere. I used to even lie to myself. Why do people say, oh, years and years ago, why do people ask me, are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. No, I wasn't okay. I wasn't, because I wasn't dealing with my emotions. Our emotional bodies are so misshapen. They're so full because they were saved for last, because you need that as fuel to release the mental programming that you have within your psyche. and your mental body doesn't give up the mental thoughts very easily. So once you decide you're going to give up something that you are doing, you need that fuel of emotion to really release it, get it out of the solidified state, and move it out of your body. Yeah. Being sick is really just a cleansing, a physical cleansing. Coughing, sneezing, you go to bed and you stay there. Most people walk around sick as a dog, spread it all over the place, sneezing and coughing on everybody. That isn't how you heal. You're going through a cleansing physically, you stay home and you sleep it off. You can take all the medicines in the world and look like you're okay, but you're not helping yourself heal. You're prolonging the healing. I never take anything. I go through whatever I'm going through. I let it play out as it needs to. But I stay in bed, I drink lots of fluids, and I rest it out. Please take that advice. It's very, very important. Being sick is not what people say. It's a physical release of energy. Everything's energy. Watch my time. Okay. So, how do you get to this inner peace? It's a step by step process. And it isn't even just these six. This is like the categories, and then you go through all the subcategories as you go along. Being honest with yourself is a very important stage, and it should be always. Like the other day, everything was just all choppy and weird because I have people here that are like on Mars someplace instead of really here. And the energy, my energy field was agitating them, literally agitating them. That was last week's um, topic, right? And I'd walk in the room and it was like, the energy was just so crazy. And I would just like say, "Oh my God, I'm triggering these people. I'm actually triggering them just standing here." And I said, "Hi." That's all I said. So sometimes that will happen. And so shine your light a little less. I was very happy that they were here, right? So I'm like wide open and my heart is pumping out this light. It was just a little much. So, yes, feel the joy. And I have to temper myself because, and I believe that some of you also notice that you're with certain people and they are getting triggered by you. It's not that you did anything wrong, it's your light is so bright and they don't know what to do with it. And it almost makes them feel vulnerable and insecure. Yeah. So tempering ourselves is a beautiful thing. But that inner work, being honest with yourself and then doing something about it. The process that I have on the website is so effective. It works like a charm. And that's how I transformed myself. I literally did. It's not only that people are going to trigger you, and they're doing this because you have contracts with them to do this, because they have the same energy in them as we have in us. But also to remember afterwards to be grateful for them. They're not your enemy. Love thy enemy. You ever hear that one? Well, they look like your enemy when they're being the agitator, right? And giving you a run for your money. But they're really your friend cosmically. And they're fulfilling their contract with you. And then you just be grateful to them. I used to say it like this when I first started out. Yeah, thanks a lot. You're really a great friend. You beat me up verbally all day. And then I actually did get into it better and I started saying, I don't have to carry this into tomorrow because I was given the gift to see it today in myself. And so I learned to be very, very grateful for the agitators and everybody else in my life because we're all one. We're all here to help each other. If you hide in a cave, you are not going to get where you need to go. You need to bounce off other people and to feel their energy and see what it feels like inside you. When we have our retreat, we're going to do several exercises like this silently, where you get to go into your feeling world and really feel who this is in front of you, whether they say a word or not, just to perfectly just feel the energies in their field. It's such a powerful experience. And I've already got the instructions on how we're going to do it. It's a little different than we've done before. It's very cool. Very, very cool. So let me look at the time. Okay. So the inner peace comes as you work on yourself inside and get down to business. Stop making believe you're okay. Stop making believe that everything's hunky dory. My whole life is just going so well and I don't need any change. Because if you say that, you'll stay right where you are. You're creating tomorrow, you're creating the next minute. Also, smile. A lot of people are so serious. My husband, his little mouth goes down like this. I said, Charlie, smile. And he smiles. He looks so cute when he smiles. We forget because we're thinking, right? We're thinking about all the things in the world that's going on, and we're thinking about people who are really physically in such a hard way. And we get a little downtrodden, you know? But look at it this way. Everybody wrote their own plan. They wrote their exit when they wrote it. They wrote their entrance, who they're going to be with, all the contracts with everybody in their life. And to honor in the Namaste tradition, honor them for their decisions, everything, how they live, even if it's not the way we live, just honor them just the way they are. And if they want to know about how you manage things, that's your opportunity. Gently help them to understand living consciously. What an excellent state of mind that is. Because if we're asleep on the job like we used to be years, many lifetimes, we were literally run by our ego. Our ego was taking us through times that were very, very difficult, and we didn't want to consciously experience it. So we just went through the motions of being on the planet, in a body, and did what we had to do. But not now. Not now. Every moment you've got to live consciously now. It is so important. Be aware. Look at people around you. You'll see so many people suffering emotionally, especially young people. They're so unhappy with the world and complaining about everything. And they have a good right to feel that everything's so expensive, all the 3D stuff. And if you can say something nice or just be somehow helpful, you will change their day. And that change will shift them into actually could come up a little increment of into a higher frequency of light. And then they'll want to do this for someone else because it felt so good. When I worked in New York City, I had two offices working with different groups of people. Uh, and I was experimenting. I had to go from on Columbus Avenue to the different streets that I had the two offices on. And I would smile and I'd look at people like almost like a tourist. But again, my friend warned me about doing this, but I smiled at everyone and all the grouchy faces and 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 pushing you and all that. I didn't stop smiling. And I was there 3 times a week and then 3 times in Rockland. I mean, yeah, the other 3 days in Rockland, I worked 6 days. And so I swear it wasn't even a month. The same people going to work, going to where they were going, would see me and they'd smile. And they would smile first. I guess I was smiling, but they would smile at me. And then sometimes some of the people we would wave to each other. It became contagious. This is in New York City when people, are got to get to work and they're walking and the traffic and the crowds on the streets and you name it. And so I'm telling you, your behavior can change a community. Your behavior can change someone's life, but it has to be sincere and real. Don't do it because, yeah, see, I changed the world. Yeah, no, that's your ego talking. Do it because it feels good. Do it because you know it's right and it makes really you feel good to be part of this movement. Be part of the love in the world. It'll heal you and heal others. Okay. So we're going to move on now to segment 2, questions and answers. And the people that are watching this on YouTube, I was asked how to get to the video, the quote, and the song on YouTube. And all you have to do is underneath the title, there's a little blurb, and then it says more. So you hit more, and then the rest of the blurb will be there about me. And then you hit more again, and then it has the 3 bits of information and the link to get there. This way, if you miss being on here or you're not on here, you can actually get to see all those parts except for segment 3, where we do not record that in any way or form. That's when we go on a beautiful guided meditation. Okay? So, those of you that want to go on the website, it's ourdivineorigin.com. And my email is there if you'd like to join us. And we look forward to having you on with us. God bless you. And thank you for listening. Judy?
Thank you, Barbara, for wonderful words of wisdom. Okay, so now, Christine, you're going to stop the recording.
Morning Light. The reason I chose that song is to remember to have quiet time. Just allow yourself to just be. Just be. Don't let your life be a rush. Rushing here, rushing there, having appointments. Oh, I got to go here. I got to go there. Got to meet this one. You don't got to do anything. The most important place you need to be is inside you. Inside you. Figuring out who you are. Loving yourself. And nature can help you. Nature is so beautiful. I live in the woods on a small lake, and I've learned so much about life watching everything here in the seasons, how everything changes, how beautiful it is, and no man or woman does anything. It just happens. Watch it. It will teach you. Thank you.
Thank you again, Barbara. Okay, so now we're going to be heading into segment 2, Christine. And Barbara, can we please have your
Summary, my summary. Thank you. All right. So, secret to inner peace. It really is a journey. It's a journey that keeps bringing you back where you need it and forward where you earn it. You earn it by working on yourself. by living consciously, by the biggie, forgiving yourself. Do you know how many people carry guilt to the point where they just start disintegrating in their own life? They ruin their bodies, they ruin their heart. Everything is affected from that guilt. Surrender that guilt to God. Send it into the violet fire and don't ever look back. Nothing you have done is being judged by anyone. It's for you to judge for yourself what you want, who you want to be, how you want to care about people, how you want to treat people, how you want to be treated. The other day, I was so busy because we have the company, and my husband said something to me, and I said, you know what? I have to take care of me first. Because if I'm not taken care of, I can't take care of all the cooking and everything else that I'm doing. And he looked at me and he said, you're right. I'll tell them that you'll be here ready to go when you're ready to go. And it took me a half hour. And I walked downstairs and my son sang the congratulations song and made a big deal about it. And I just looked at him and I said, I'm ready to go. Let's go. You see, when you start loving yourself and caring about your needs, you won't be offended when you are asked to do things because you're okay and you have to be. You see? And this is all part of the self love. It's all part of you saying, you know what? It is so important that I care that I'm too tired to go out. I really don't want to. And not go. Not go. Give them the keys to the car. Give them money to go out to dinner, whatever you need to do. Just care about you. And then you'll feel so good when you do things because it's on your terms. You see? This is making a person completely in inner peace. This is where the peace comes from. Only you can give it to yourself. Nobody else can. A lot of people wait for their husbands to make them happy, or their boyfriends, or their father, or their mother, or their sister, brother. No, that's your job. You're here to make you happy. You're the only one that can make you happy. You know why? Because what others think is going to make you happy may not really be. Like years ago, my husband brought home a flower. I don't know where he probably picked it out of the garden, and he handed it to me. And I said, "Oh, that's so sweet. I really appreciate that." He goes, "I don't know. You're not seeming like you're really happy about it." I said, "Well, I kind of like a plant better than a picking a flower because it's going to die in about a week." I said, "So a plant would have felt much better." And he looked at me. He said, "But you always like flowers." I said, "Yes, but I've become more conscious about taking a life of a flower just to make me a happy camper one day." And he looked at me and he thought about it, he frowned a little, and then he said, "Oh, okay." So from that point on, we'd be out shopping and we'd go past the florist department and he'd go pick something out because I'm not going there anymore. And I would. You see, you have to make you happy. You have to make your boundaries. You have to make your joy. This is the inner peace that passes understanding and is permanent. It's permanent. Remember that. Your life is yours to nurture, yours to transform, yours to discover who you really are. And that brings you inner peace. Because when you're not sure when you really don't, what am I doing here kind of question. Is this all there is? Or is there something that I really have a place in this crazy world of ours? And you do. Being you, totally you, not mimicking a friend because you think they're so cool. Be you. You can't mimic them and really be them, you see? But you can do things that you like, that you see in other people, and say, I really like the way they treated that person, or I really like the way that they gave space, or whatever it is that you recognize. But do it your way. Be genuinely you. Because honestly, there's nobody in the universe that's you. And God sent you here to be that person. Okay? So we're going to go into segment 3 now. Again, anyone watching this on YouTube, we welcome you to join us to be able to be part of the segments that you aren't seeing. And you can pick up the links underneath the title. There is a place where it says more. Hit that one, and then there's a second one, and then you'll see the links to see the video, to hear the song, and uh, and see the quote for the night. Okay. God bless you all. Thank you so much for being here and enjoying the time together. And I hope that these messages about the secret to inner peace is something that you will embrace and bring yourself there. God bless you. God love you. Amen.
Thank you, Barbara. Beautiful evening. Thank you. Okay, so before the guided meditation, I will read our closing prayer. Please remain muted. We are deeply grateful for this forum. We thank those in attendance for your attention, for your wonderful questions, future topic suggestions, and stories that touched our hearts and opened our minds to new possibilities. Our collective energy has filled this forum with light and love for each other. We are so grateful that each of us brings guides and angelic beings to the forum, raising the frequency ever higher. We are grateful for the assistance, inspiration, and guidance from the benevolent beings overseeing the forum. Know we are all deeply loved and richly blessed. Amen.
Amen.
We invite all of you to remain for the guided meditation. However, before we start segment 3, if you need to sign off, please unmute and say blessings, good wishes, and good night to each other before you leave.
Good night to everyone.
Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Good night.
Good
Buonasera.
night. Buonasera.